Hi fellow makeup fiends, don't be afraid. Yes, I have no makeup on. I'm just about to put on the Infallible primer and foundation, so I thought I might as well do a little video. I have actually used this a couple of times. It's my first time for using the primer yesterday, and I think, yeah, I was pretty impressed with the results. It's just a clear primer. It feels very velvety on the skin. And I know a lot of people don't like this feeling because it's kind of a greasy feeling, in all honesty. You can, like, when you touch it, it feels slightly tacky, but when you rub it, it feels very greasy, which is the sensation, you know, most of us try not to have oily skin, so it's a bit weird. But in my experience, I've tried the Smashbox one, which is like this. I've got a couple of samples of that. Have I got one in hand? No, I haven't. But the Smashbox, you've seen it. It's the clear primer. It's very much the same. So yeah, you're not going to see anything. And I do have a little bit of redness on my nose because, yes, I am loaded with cold. It's the tail end of whatever I've just had, which is some kind of virus, I don't know. But I've been left with sniffles, and I know a lot of people hate it when I sniffle through the video, so I'll edit the sniffles out as much as I can. That's all the sniffling from me, but I've still got a cough and I've still got the sniffles a little bit. So yes, it hasn't quite left me yet. It's quite determined to hang on in there. Anyway, I've got the Infallible foundation. It's a 24 matte, and this one is in 010 or 10 porcelain. This is the lightest shade they do, and it seems like it's a pretty good match for me. Now, the way that I apply foundation is I put it on the back of my hand, and then I put the brush in it, and then put it on the face. I know some people dab it across their face. I prefer the back of the hand technique. Neither's wrong, and it is perfectly hygienic because I've just washed my hands and my face anyway. I'm going to use the Zoeva 124. This is the 124 Grand Stippling. I haven't actually hauled this, but this is, I think, quite recent naughty little purchase from Beauty Bay. Beauty Bay do free delivery over £10, and it's track delivery, so you have to actually sign for the parcel, which is really good. I think that is excellent, excellent value. I think that's excellent value. So I love Beauty Chamber, I love makeup, but they charge £2.95 postage. So if I can go to another site and get free postage, then I'd rather go to the other site. And if those sites did the odd promotion where you got free postage, I'd really love that. They currently only do free postage over £50, and you know, £50 is a lot of money. It'd be nice if it was £20 or £30 to keep it lower, but with Beauty Bay it's over £10, which is fantastic. And I think this brush was around £11.50, so yeah, so I put a couple of dots. That one went a bit funny. A couple of dots of that on the back of my hand, and then I just put it on with a brush, and I can't see what I'm doing. It's a bit weird putting makeup on when you've only got a viewfinder. So I tend to just dab it on like this. I don't know, it works for me. And just kind of buff it into the skin in circular motions. I always do my cheeks first. I don't know really why I'm telling you this, it's not really important, but I always tend to do the cheeks first because sometimes I like to go in with a second coat if I haven't got enough coverage. So yeah, I tend to do that, come back to that last. Sorry, I think I might be a bit too close. Sorry if I'm scaring anybody. Okay. So that's it. Actually, that's like one coverage, and I'm pretty happy with that. I'll just put another little tiny dot on the back of the hand, and I will just go in a little bit on the cheeks. That's why I do have some rosacea. I know that in America they've released an actual setting spray. That is, I think it's the Infallible range as well. I wish they brought that out over here because I do love setting sprays. I love the Fix Plus. I'm obsessed with the Urban Decay All Nighter. This is the very old packaging. I've just actually ordered some more of this because Debenhams have a 10% off. And this is, I think, I want to say this is about £20 a bottle, so it's very pricey, but they have the dual pack for 28 and it's got 10% off, so it was 25 for 2. So I did order 2 of those because I absolutely love it and I like the smell of it. It's just really nice. I've always found that that setting spray is amazing. I've worn it with like nights out of makeup and I've gone to bed and I haven't removed it, which is naughty, but yeah, it's been on the next morning and it's not smudged at all, so it's been like, wow, that is amazing stuff. So that's it, and I haven't used very much there, to be honest, and I feel like I've got a really good coverage. I'm happy with that. You know, it's a very even sort of coverage and it's really nice and full, and it's a matte, but it does have a slight sheen to it, which is great because I think that with the really flat matte ones, they're too flat on your face. They make your face look very flat, and you do need to have a little bit of like reflective property somewhere. So that is those 2. And I'm going to speed the rest of this video up, but I'm going to put the rest of my makeup on. So if you want to watch that, then keep watching. If you want to watch that, keep watching. And as within magic, within minutes, I am now finished. So I'm going to talk briefly about what I think with my first thoughts. I've actually been using these products for a week now, so it's kind of not first thoughts, but it's not exactly like I've been using them for a month or two and I have a definite opinion. However, I feel like I can give you a pretty good sort of first thoughts, first week sort of overview of what I'm thinking of these products. So this is the Infallible Mattifying Base, and it's supposed to be formulated to work in conjunction with the matte foundation and for them to be kind of a perfect pairing. The mattifying base is one of those silicone type primers. It's clear and you only need a few little dots to actually do your whole face, so it's good that a little of this does go a long way. You get 35 mils in here, so it's not the hugest, but it's pretty on par with what most BB creams tend to be in size, and because you only use a tiny little bit of it, I think that this will last actually quite a while. It does have that slightly tacky feel if you press on it, and it does feel oily and greasy if you rub on it. Now I have oily skin and it doesn't seem to have any effect on me with the oily skin, and throughout the day with the wearing of the foundation, I wore the matte foundation yesterday and I didn't notice any oil majorly creeping up. I got a little bit around my nose area, which is where it tends to be worse, but I didn't notice any across my cheeks and around my chin area, so I felt like it did control things pretty well. And I felt like it did keep my makeup on pretty well. I was out in, it was fairly cold yesterday and it was very windy, so I felt like my hair was against my face, I was touching my face a lot. And I do feel like it did last pretty well. Now I know a lot of people don't like the silicone sensation of these, it does feel kind of greasy on the skin, but I don't mind that because you just rub it in and then as soon as you start working your foundation in, you literally don't feel that once you've got everything else on top of it. So if you can put up with that, then that is, it would be a good thing. I don't know. I feel like it's done a really good job, and I feel like, I don't know whether it's given it better coverage. I feel like it perhaps has given better coverage to this foundation, because when I have been using this through the week, I have noticed that I haven't got full coverage, but in some areas it's been a little patchy where I haven't worked it in correctly, and I feel like today looking at this, I don't have any of those areas where I can see in the mirror where there's bits creeping through that I haven't covered properly. So I do feel like because this has this oily sort of texture and this very slick, you know, sort of texture, when you're working your foundation in, I feel like almost like your foundation's mixing with the primer, and that's what creates a really good coverage and really, you know, gets everything all over the face. Does that make sense? I'm not sure. But I'm really impressed with that so far. And the only one other kind of primer that I've tried that's this consistency is the Smashbox one, which I thought was okay, but I think it's a lot of money for what it is and I probably wouldn't buy it. I do enjoy the little free samples that I get from Smashbox from the website, because when you place an order from Smashbox you do get a free sample, and I always pick the primer because I use primer every day. What you're doing is you're laying a base down, and then when your products go on top, the base helps it stick to your skin, it helps it be more even, and it actually helps the colour of all the products that you're putting on top of it be more true. But the other thing it does is, because skin is porous, when you put foundation on and you don't have a primer, it can go into the pores. So there are two reasons why it's not so great to have foundation go into your pores. One is coverage. It can be quite patchy because of that, because it's sinking in some places, not so much in others, depending on the size of your pores. So if you do have blemish prone skin, obviously that going into your pores and it's sitting in your pores all day, it's not good for your skin, and that's where kind of infectious bacteria comes from, and that can create spots on the skin, and that's what used to happen with me. So by putting a primer on, you're kind of putting a base all over the face that protects your pores from anything going into them. So you stop product going into your pores, which is a great thing because it's a lot healthier for your skin, but you also help the foundation or any product you put on top have a flatter, even base. It's not sinking in different places, it's all even all over your face, which is I think why this has gotten on better today than it did the other day, the foundation, because I feel like I've got an all over even base. Because sometimes I just prime certain areas, and I've started to learn that really I do need to prime all over because you do get a better finish all over. So yeah, I'm very impressed with it. and we'll see how we go with it. I'll let you know in a couple of weeks what I'm thinking and if it's breaking me out, if it's causing any problems, and in the long run what I think of it. If I do like it, I will get more of this. I generally tend to pick high street stuff like this up though when there's a 3 for 2 promotion on. So because this is on, this has been on a 3 for 2 and it had a couple of pounds off, it was great. And I only got one of them. I got 2 foundations, but the next time I'd probably just pick up a couple of these or see if there's something else in the range, and that's what I always do in 3 for 2s. I'd recommend anybody do that. Get things on a 3 for 2, pick up the couple of things that you want, and then pick up something that you use all the time and put it in your stash. You don't have to have a huge stash, and I do have a what's in my stash video coming up if anybody's interested in seeing what I have in my makeup stash. I'm sure people probably think it's huge, but it's not really. But yeah, love the primer, very impressed with that. And like I say, nothing's moving, so I don't feel like just because it was greasy when I put it on, everything's moving now. I feel like when the foundation mixed with it, it's set lovely. On to the foundation, because I feel like I've been talking about the primer forever. The foundation's lovely. I do feel like it worked better when I used it with the primer. I have been wearing this all week and I love the coverage. I think the coverage is beautiful. It's a perfect match for my skin and it's really creamy, blends in nice. It's not completely a flat matte, it's got a little bit of a sheen about it. So I do feel like it just looks really good on the skin because you have a little bit of light and shade. You don't want your face to be completely matte. So I do feel like it performs really well that way. And it lasts all day. I do feel though, when I didn't use this with a primer, I did have some patchiness here and there. I'm a face toucher, I'm terrible for it, so you know, that happens. But I do feel like I've got a more even coverage when I've used it with a primer, and I did notice that yesterday also, because I just feel like it all blended in quite nicely together and then it stayed really well. So I do recommend using these as a pair. If you can't get away with this, I'd recommend trying another primer underneath it. There's lots of other primers out there. I might do a little primer video because there's quite a few that I like and would highly recommend. So if anybody's interested in that, I will do that. But yeah, the foundation's nice. I haven't used a lot of it and I've got a full face coverage. I do feel like it's medium to high coverage, so if you do have redness to cover and scarring, I feel like it did that for me. Often I'm left with redness on my cheeks and I have to come in with concealer, and yeah, I don't feel I've had to do that. I mean, I used a little bit of concealer under the eye. I've not been sleeping very well. That's another story. So yeah, so that's the foundation and primer from L'Oreal. The other thing that I demoed in this video is the Barry M Flawless Chisel Cheeks Contour Kit. Why can't anything have a short name anymore? This is the contour kit. Now, you get 3 colours in here. It doesn't come with a mirror, it actually comes with a little guide. I think the little guide would have been better placed on the back of the product and then had a mirror in there, because it would have been really useful to just use this rather than get another mirror. So that's a little flaw. It's just a cardboard casing, but it is magnetised. So yeah, it's quite nice. It will get dirty in time, of course, because it is cardboard, but it's quite a nice little packaging. It's, you know, for what it is. It was $6.49 I think in Superdrug, which was a really good price. So you get in here a highlighter, a bronzer and a contour. Now the highlighter is not a highlighter for me. I mean, that, when I put that on, that just blends into my skin. So it's not lighter than my skin, but I didn't expect it to be because I'm very pale. So that's like a problem for us pale girls. I do feel like in the Kat Von D palette, the lighter shade in there does provide more of a brightening effect, but Kat Von D is very pale and I feel like she's come out with a contour kit that does meet that criteria, and it is very pale. And I feel like the Anastasia one is the same. So in the Shade and Light palette from Kat Von D, I feel like that shade's very good. It is pretty close to what I use in powder though. This is where the problem is. And it's actually the same sort of colour in the Anastasia one. But I do feel like it does have some sort of a brightening sort of look to it. So they're great. I am going to do a contour kit video, so please do watch out for that. Or a contour video I should say, because I'm going to feature the contour kits that I've got, and I've got 5. Well, I will have 5 once my other one comes next week. Very excited. So yeah, I'm going to do those, then I'm going to do individual products. I'm going to talk about creams, powders, loose powders, pressed powders, all the brushes that I've tried. Yeah, so I'm excited to do that. Now, I'm going totally off topic. In the middle you've got the bronzer. I love this bronzer, and I wondered if Barry M actually do this individually, so I'm probably going to email Barry M and ask them about that, because this is a red based, it's a red toned bronzer, so it doesn't It's not orange toned, it's red toned. So it actually comes off quite cool. And on fair skin that is important. And I've actually used that today, just around my forehead. I brought it into my contour, then a little bit under my chin. On my jawline, sorry, my jawline. So I used that today and I've been loving this bronzer. I think it's a really nice colour. It's pigmented, but it's not super duper pigmented, so you dip your brush in and you can get a really good, nice coverage, and it's very buildable. And then the contour colour will frighten some people, especially people with fair skin, because it does look quite dark. It is cool toned, and that's it there. Now, as long as you have a fairly light hand, I used my Real Techniques brush today. This brush is just amazing. I'm so in love with it. So if you just dab that into the product, blow off the bit of excess, and then bring it onto your skin. See, it's not too bad. You're not going to get... You might think, oh, I'm going to get this really horrible dark line, but you really don't, and that's like what I've got on today on my contour. And I actually used a loose powder to bake it, which is a new technique. I still don't know what I'm doing with that, so I'm learning, so please do not criticise me for that. But it's just to create a sharper line under your contour, which is something that Nikki Tutorials does, and she's very fair skinned as well, so I'm trying to learn how to do that just to give that a sharper edge. Yeah. But I definitely think it makes a difference. But I'll talk more about contouring in the video, because I feel like I've learned a lot about contouring my face shape, and everybody's face shape is different, and skin colour obviously. So I think if I do a contour video, it'll be mostly geared towards sort of fair skin and a fuller face. But because I'm featuring lots of brushes and products and swatches and things, you will get to see lots of different products, not necessarily just for fair skin. So yeah, this is a nice little kit. I highly recommend it. I mean, like I said, I can't use this as a highlighter, but I would use this as a face powder. And it's nice that I've got a little bronzer. It's a great little size to pop into your bag. I mean, it's not tiny, but it's okay. And I really, really like it. And I think it's a really good price point. And I don't think there's anything else on the high street at the moment like this. There is the Sleek Contour Kit, which is a highlighter and a contour. And they brought the ones out that have got the blush in as well. But this is more bronze highlight. Sort of bronze highlight and contour, so I feel like this is just a bit more of an all-rounder. It's more like the Anastasia and the Kat Von D kits in that, you know, it's kind of your whole face sort of shade and light situation. So I hope you've enjoyed my sort of first thoughts and demo of these products. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. I'm gonna love and leave you and see you all soon. I've been Spacey's #1 girl, and this is the colour of my kiss. I'm going to love and leave you there and see you very soon. See you very soon? See you all soon. I can't talk today. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. I'm going to love and leave you and see you there. See you there? Oh, I can't talk.